Hello everybody, it's Stinger Splash and I'm back with a new set of videos for a new year. Well, this one's going to be going up on New Year's Eve, so I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and has a lovely New Year's Eve as well. I'm going to be doing these videos for the next few days, and I'll be putting them up probably one or two a day. We'll see how it goes. This is going to be a complete look at the entire UK Bluray Steelbook collection from the very beginning, chronological order, so it'll be in release order. This is my second time of doing this because the first time I messed up. I kept saying the wrong thing over and over, so I decided to screw it, let's start again. So hopefully this time I won't make the same mistake. You'll probably notice it if I do. But yes, we're going to start off at the beginning. I was going to try and do everything in one video, but that wouldn't work. I was going to do years, but that wouldn't work because some years have 20 and some years have 160. So I decided just to do the first 20 today, and each video will have 20, so it'll be consecutive. So these are the first 20 that were released. So our very first one, which was released way back on the 19th of May 2008, was Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Got it right that time. Now these early steelbooks, I've got to admit, the ones I've got, I've had them many years, and I didn't move about with them. I didn't move into my house that I'm in now until April 2009. I was still collecting DVDs at that time, so the Blu-rays were of little priority. I picked them up either second hand or they weren't really handled properly. And suffice to say, these early few do have some damage to them, but I'm not too fussed. I'm not really bothered about going back and getting them, mint, because they weren't the best steelbooks to start with. So the first two were both Warner Brothers, and this is the first one, Sweeney Todd, and they had the printed back, the printed rating stickers, the Blu-ray banner. At least this one had inside artwork, but the next one I'm going to show didn't. So yeah, a bit of history really, the very first UK Blu-ray Steelbook, and I wouldn't mind if they re-released this one. To be perfectly honest, they could re-release this one, and I wouldn't be fussed. But just to have a not even different artwork really, but just not have the banners and things. Although I should say as well, actually, that in the early days of steelbooks, they didn't decide to do anything special with the artwork. It was just amateur artwork. Hence the Blu-ray banner at the top, because there was nothing really there on the on the regular releases. So number 2 is 10,000 BC. And of course, this one did get re-released earlier on this year for part of the Warner Wave. This is the original release from July the 21st, 2008. And again, the really crap steelbook. Let's just say it's a crap steelbook. Nothing really spectacular about it. And this is probably why they didn't sell out for a long time. No inside artwork either. There was nothing special about this over the DVD version. At least the DVD steelbooks were having nice artwork at the time. And maybe I'll do a chronological DVD one day. Hey, we'll try. I don't really have all the dates. That's the only problem with that one. But I can try. So the third one is Wanted. This was the third release of 2008, and now the other two were released in May and July. This one didn't get released until December the 1st, so there's quite a gap between the three of them. This was the first Universal Blu-ray Steelbook, but they still decided to have the banner at the top. But for some reason they put the Blu-ray, you can notice that the Blu-ray logo is going round the corner almost. It's a bit odd there. But this is quite a nice steelbook really, and I like the artwork. It's just a shame about the usual suspects at the time not giving us nice clean artwork and such like. The inside artwork is pretty plain as well, but this one was the first one I believe to actually sell out. This was the first out of print release. I think it went out of print in 2009, but you can still pick it up cheap. It's just everyone bought them and they didn't make any more, but there's so many out in circulation, it's not like it's hard to find, and it's still a decent price. So that is the first three. That was 2008. So now going to 2009, and the first release of 2009 was one of the very few Icon steelbooks. It was this monstrosity that is Transporter 3. Now, the significant thing about this one is this was the first exclusive steelbook. This was an HMV exclusive. Although I don't think it ended up that way in the end. I think it did get sold elsewhere eventually, but this one took quite a while to go out of print. And yeah, I really should have taken these out of slipcases. I did the first few, but these are the plastic slipcases that I use. I've shown in different videos because they keep everything well protected, but they are pretty tight, these early ones. Now the new ones aren't as tight. I'm going to have fun putting all these back on now later on. But it'll give me something to do today. So yeah, there it is. And of course the problem with this is, not only was it the Blu-ray banner, the printed logos, and the printed back, but the delights of ratings and reviews from like the News of the World, Nuts, Zoo, and all those magnificent publications that are well respected. And I'm trying to say that with a straight face. So yes, here's the disc. It was Icon. They didn't do many Steelbook releases, but they did give us Drive, so they did learn in the end. Just terrible inside artwork, is non-existent, and again it was really, really poor. But it was the early days, and that came out actually not until the 20th of April 2009. Interestingly enough, that's the day that I moved in here. And I remember now because I bought the Transport Trilogy DVD Steelbook, which was much nicer than this, and it was the very first thing I had delivered to my house here on release day. So that's something to reminisce about, I suppose. So the next one that came out was the fastest to sell out. This one wasn't an exclusive either, but it sold out very quickly, and that is Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the Skynet edition. This was released on the 1st of June 2009, so it was 6 months in. Well, technically I suppose 5 full months in. This was only the second Steelbook of the year, and of course big differences here. You'll notice no Blu-ray banners. This was the first to give us a nice clean Steelbook. Came with a backing card, really awesome artwork, and this one sold out the week of release. I was very lucky to get this from Amazon, from an Amazon seller, like right after release. It already sold out, but he had one for basically the same price. It was about 17 quid, 16 quid, something like that. And yeah, it sold out very fast and never came back. So even though there's no inside artwork really, it technically is. It's quite nice really, sort of steel look to it. But yeah, really, really awesome Steelbook. One of the early greats, and the first to give us nice back artwork, front artwork, and no crappy banners. And they would return, by the way. They would return. That was, I think that was a Sony release. Could be wrong. Studio Canal, sorry. So they did something good there. So next up, after that, we had 2 Steelbooks released on the same day, the 6th of July. And that was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and I'll show them both together, I suppose, and Highlander. These were both released on the same day. So Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was a Sony release, and of course I had to go back to the stupid Blu-ray banners. Oh, it's really tight to get out. It's good in a way, because it keeps them protected, but it's not good when you want to get them out. So yes, had the Blu-ray banner at the top there, and the printed logo, only one printed logo on the front, and printed back. And no inside outlook, just, well, not proper inside outlook, it was sort of the regular sort of Sony blue background that you got in Blu-rays, regular Blu-rays. But you know, this one was actually only £11 when it first came out. I think it was about, might have been £12, but it was in the 2 for 22 offer. I remember buying it in that from play.com, and it stuck around for a while before it went out of print, but it's not a very good book, to be honest. It's a shame. But out on the same day we got Highlander, which is out of print, but again took a little while to go that way. And this one was another one from Studio Canal, so they were the only ones that were really sort of listening to what Steelbook fans wanted at the time. And oh my goodness, this video is definitely going to go over 15 minutes, I'll tell you that much. It's going to take me that long to get this bleeder out of the box. I'm going to have to do this on this one. This is really, really tough. This one's not coming out. Oh, there you go. Bloody hell. That was tight. So, yeah, and this one's a really nice looking Steelbook, but it's not quite as nice as the DVD version. I do prefer the DVD version of this release, but it was the Highlander special edition. And so, it's a nice inside out look as well. And as I said, this was really the start of a company actually listening to what we wanted. So yeah, they were both out on the 6th of July. Now the following month, we got another quick seller out. Quick seller out, is that a word? Seller outer. It was a seller outer. Sold out, and that is Gladiator. And this one was of course, Sony, so they had to go and give us, you know, logos and printed print. But it's a really nice artwork, and at least this was sort of exclusive artwork. Get the words out. Printed back, but you know, it was a nice set. You got the 2-disc set, and also some art cards as well. And some nice inside artwork. But yes, this was from September. I want to say September the 7th. I knew it was early September. This was one of the only steelbooks I actually bought from Blockbuster, because they were the cheapest around. It was starting to get rare. Because back then I wasn't sort of pre-ordering everything Blu-ray-wise. I didn't think they'd sell out so quick, so I was going for DVD still, being the idiot that I am. So next up was another one that I bought second-hand off Play.com, and this one, I don't really want to show this one, but it's the Fast and Furious 4-film set. The only DVD-sized Bluray Steelbook we've had, because they couldn't work out how to put 4 discs in a G2 size release at the time. It was a blank Steelbook. I put some crap on it. Basically the magnets that you got with them. But you did have the 4 discs in there, and there is some back artwork there. It's not much. It's just a car. But yeah, they never released another one of these. Surprise, surprise. But it did sell out quite fast, and it's still not come back. So it's sort of one of those anomalies that is still quite wanted. That came out on September the 21st. So then we had to wait until November the 16th for the big one. Still one of the most sought after releases, but now it has had a re-release, and a virtually identical re-release. It's not quite as wanted as it was at Star Trek. Still the original version with the Blu-ray sticker and the rating sticker, but of course it was. There's no back artwork, but there's no printed back. But we still had the printed banner, so they were getting closer. This was Paramount. This was one of their first steelbooks, I believe. It might have been their first, but they were getting there. But this is the 3rd disc digital copy. Not really any inside artwork in it, but you might have seen this anyway from the single disc edition. There's the Blu-ray disc, special featured disc that they took out of the re-release. But it's still, you know, sought after and everything. And I remember buying it for 18 quid from Play, and being sort of pretty happy with it, and still am. So let's go on now with number 11. That's the first 10. We're 13 minutes in, so we'll be in for the long haul here. Oh, sorry again if it's really dark in here. I don't understand it, because maybe it's just because of the darker days. But I do have a curtain. Actually, I don't even have a curtain up to try and get some light in. And I have the light on, but I'm trying to make it as bright as I can. Anyway, so this next one is Terminator Salvation, and this is a Sony Steelbook. Now, this one didn't sell out for a long, long time. I think maybe until the last year it was still around, and now it's skyrocketed, especially a seal copy. But you can get a cheap import version from Scandinavia, which is identical. So here's Terminator Salvation, which was released on DVD and Blu-ray, and this was the first DVD and Blu-ray Steelbook double release, if you like. Instead of giving us a double player, they gave us 2 identical Steelbooks in G1 and G2 size. And yeah, these are just stickers, by the way. I just haven't bothered to remove them. This is the front. It's a nice glossy Steelbook, one of the first glossies. Nice back artwork, and obviously no printed banners. So Sony had finally figured it out. Really awesome inside artwork too. So one of the first really good releases, but again, took a long time to sell out. And this was released on the 23rd of November. And now we get to the last Steelbook of 2009. This was another one that was, and that one, by the way, Terminator Salvation was a Play exclusive. I should have mentioned that. The last Steelbook of 2009 was District 9, which came out again on DVD and Blu-ray in Steelbook form. HMV exclusive, and this was another Sony release, and one of the nicest Steelbooks they've ever brought out, still to this day. It's ready for, we're about to run out 15 minutes, but we'll continue going on. Okay, so let's check out the inside artwork on this one. It's gonna be one last video, but I hope it'll still be okay. Yeah, so there's the inside artwork, and so this was a funny one for me because I thought, rather stupidly, as I was very naive back then, there's no way people are going to buy the Blu-ray one over the DVD one because it's exactly the same, you know, artwork, but the DVD was cheaper. So I figured I better pre-order the DVD and not pre-order the Blu-ray because there'll be plenty left. And of course, it turns out in the end the DVDs were sold off last year for £5, and the Blu-ray sold out very fast. Luckily, I did get one on eBay. This one, about a day after it was out of print. I couldn't wait, and I did get it for £18, which is the price they were paying. So it's quite rare. You wouldn't get, you know, an exclusive now for the price from the actual website on eBay now. There's people selling Zabi exclusives that are still in stock for twice as much because everyone's money grabbing. But back then, you could get a good deal. The only thing was it didn't come with the backing card, which I've always regretted, but I take them all off now anyway, so it doesn't really affect me too much. So yeah, that was out on December the 28th, 2009, 4 years ago. So now we start with 2010, and this was Steelbook number 13. This one, again, was available for quite a while, but is now gone. Gone this past year, in fact, into the realms of let's charge you whatever we like now because it's out of print. And that is Halo Legends, and as you can probably guess, I am struggling to get this out of this bloody case. So, yeah, there it is, Halo Legends. Nice glossy release, and, you know, again, nice glossy artwork on the back as well. No banners, no logos, no printed bullshit anywhere. Oh, a 48-hour Xbox Live code. Didn't even realise that was in there. It's probably expired now. But there's the disc, and again, some really nice inside artwork. It's just one of those releases that took a long time to go, but once it did, it does now start to pick up a little bit of value. It's a nice release, and this was the first of 2010, released on the 15th of February, and it was not an exclusive, which is why it took so long to go out of print. Who released that one? Warner Brothers. So next up we then have another HMV exclusive, and just like Terminator Salvation, just like District 9, this was another that was given a DVD steelbook and a Bluray steelbook, so I had to double dip on both, and that is 2012. And this is the first time we get what is now pretty much standard with steelbooks, and that is the embossed title, embossed border. It's a pretty blank steelbook apart from that, but it's the first time this is Sony, and this is the first time we really got what I would consider a current style of steelbook. And then inside we have disc and inside artwork, and so yeah, it's sort of, it was really ahead of its time, to be honest, because there was still releases to come with printed banners and things like that, and printed backs. But yeah, this was out on the 29th of March 2010, so it was about a month and a half after Halo Legends. And then next up we have what was sort of a rarity. There's only been a couple of these ever, in fact. Maybe two or three. Online exclusives. So it wasn't available in stores, but it wasn't an exclusive to any particular store. I bought this one from Play, but HMV had it, I think, and Amazon. And that was Avatar. And the online exclusive set, which came out on the film's original non-director's 3D cut, original standard cut, back on the 26th of April 2010. And not only did you get this quite nice steelbook, apart from, of course, that and that, but at least they tried to change it up. They didn't make it like the others. And it is a sort of printed back, but at least they got some artwork on it. Nice glossy steelbook, but not only did you get the steelbook, you also got included these lenticular art cards, which are very nice. There was a Pandora's Guidebook, and there was also a t-shirt, which I've worn once. You will notice, actually, I have a 3D Avatar disc in here. That's because I swapped out the 2D disc when I bought the 3D Yammer, and there's the DVD that came in. It's a double play. One of the first double play releases, I believe, as well. So this broke some nice new ground. Nice in style artwork as well. It was very expensive, but of course later on it was released everywhere. I think this last year, in fact, it was released as a standard steelbook on its own for, I think it was about £10. But you didn't get these, I don't think. I know you definitely didn't get the book or the T-shirt. But yeah, it was a nice online exclusive at the time. But of course, they ended up bringing out all sorts of different versions. But this was the only Avatar steelbook that we got in the UK. So up next we have number 16. This is the first of 3 steelbooks that are still about, although they are starting to get a little bit out of print now. It's starting to get harder to find. So this is Battlestar Galactica The Plan. This is a full feature-length version of Battlestar Galactica, the rebooted series from about 2005. And this is a Universal Steelbook, and of course they made megatons of them. Printed bloody backing artwork, you know, printed logos, printed banner and all that bollocks. No inside artwork, just completely pathetic. But, you know, it is starting to go the way of some of the others, and it's starting to finally sell out. They must have made, I don't know how many thousands. Way too many. There's not that many Battlestar Galactica fans. I'm not a huge fan of the reboot anyway. I prefer the original series. So I've never watched it, probably never will, but yeah, it's still hanging about. It came out on the 10th of May 2010. And then the following week, which was a rarity in those days that you get more than one a month, we then got Minority Report from Fox, and this one is, I believe, still about, but this was one of the first ones that actually brought with it a digital copy, and that will be expired, so maybe that's why it's starting to get harder to find, because they have to remove them from shelves. This is Minority Report. This had already been released on DVD in the past, and while again it does have the Blu-ray banner at the top, at least again Fox had tried, just like with Avatar, to do something a little bit different with it. Showed it back, didn't I? Inside we have the Blu-ray disc and also the DVD disc. No inside artwork, but it did come again with some nice art cards, which have never been out of the packet, and an old digital copy code. So yeah, this really shouldn't be sold anymore. If it is available anywhere, it shouldn't be, because that I'm pretty sure that digital copy code is long since gone. Is there any date on it? No, it just says 2 years. But since this was released on the 17th of May 2010, it would have run out, 18 months ago. So then next up we have another one that is still available, probably will be till the end of time, because hardly anybody bought it. It's such a terrible film, and that is The Wolfman. Yeah, this one is still available for around £5. It's not the best artwork at all. It's pretty basic. I mean, at least they got rid of the Blu-ray banner, but they still have the printed logo, and they still had the printed back artwork, and no inside artwork. Just a bad showing from Universal. Universal got good in the end, but in the beginning they were pretty crap when it came to steelbooks, and they printed way too many of the early ones. So yeah, that one came out actually on the 7th of June. And then on the 12th of July, we had Green Zone, which was another Universal release, and this one took a while to go out of print, actually. And this one's a bit of a mess as well, let's face it. I mean, yeah, again, that's printed. This crap shouldn't be there. There's too much text on the front there, definitely. Printed back. I can't remember what's inside this, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to have no inside artwork. Yeah. Universal do not disappoint with the basic Blu-ray. But yeah, so again, these early days weren't the best steelbooks, especially from Universal. They learned though. They did learn. And then our final steelbook for this video, sorry, is Psycho, which did go out of print. I think pretty early on. This again was one of the early ones to go out of print. It's sort of surprising the most, I think. This one was released on the 2nd of August 2010, and again has printed back and printed logos, but it was just such an iconic film, and it was given a Blu-ray release, you know, at the same time. So a lot of people sort of went out and thought, oh well, it wasn't that much more than the Steelbook, the regular Amaray, sorry. They'll go out and get the Steelbook. No inside artwork, of course, but a nice booklet, and yeah, this one sold out pretty quickly. So there you have it, a sort of auspicious start to the rundown of every UK Bluray Steelbook ever. That's the first 20, which just covered 2008, 2009, and into 2010. You know, up until the 2nd of August 2010. Pretty crazy that, you know, 20 Steelbooks were released over the course of 2 years. But we can only wish for those days now. And honestly, I do wish they would come back, you know, to that sort of ratio. Bring out a Steelbook a month, you know. I could even go with one Steelbook a week, to be perfectly honest. That would be okay. You know, 52 a year, but, you know, they're already starting to shove them in next year, and I have a feeling they're going to beat the 160 from 2013, and it just gets too much. But anyway, that was the first 20. We'll be back with numbers 21 to 40. 21 being Flash Gordon, and number 40 was True Grit, and that'll take us all the way through another year, almost another year, August 2010 to June 2011. So I'll be back with that video very soon. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and rate, comment, subscribe, and I hope you have a really good new year. And I'll see you all on the 1st of January, because unlike most of you who will have a hangover, I will not. But yeah, take care, I'll see you again.